I want to tell y'all a story about Anthony Robbins, or Tony Robbins. A lot of you may have heard of him. He's a motivational speaker. He's an author. He is amazing. I saw him years and years ago. He's bigger than life. He's tall, dark-headed, handsome. But he is one of these men that absolutely commands your attention when he gets on a stage, because he is so excited about what he's talking about. He's very passionate. And he tells this one story that there are no vans, okay? There were no vans. And so the story goes like this, and Jack loved this story so much that he actually included it in the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. And I read it then, and I've heard it several times since then. It's one of my favorites because it incorporates 4 of the principles that we've been learning, okay? So Anthony Robbins was in New York. He was giving a talk or a radio interview of some sort, and it was around Thanksgiving time. And so he had told his staff, when I get finished this afternoon, we're going to get a van, go to a store, buy a lot of food, put together 38 baskets of food, and we're going to go out and give them to the homeless. And we're going to feed some people tonight. So y'all get a van, and we'll meet back up here. So when his talk was over with, or his radio interview, whatever it was that he was doing was finished, he came back and his staff said, "Oh man, Tony, we hate to tell you, but there's no vans." "What do you mean there's no vans?" "We've tried everywhere, Budget, Hertz, Enterprise, everywhere. There's just no vans to rent. There's none to be had." I mean, it's Thanksgiving. I guess everybody's rented all the vans and gone out of town, so we just don't have a van. We can't do it. Tony said, "Oh yeah, we can. Come over here and look." So he goes to the window of the hotel and he said, "Look down there. What's down there?" And of course they knew what he was getting at, and they weren't going to go there. Trucks, cars, motorcycles, buses. Everybody was avoiding the vans. There's vans on the street. And he said, "So we're going to go down there and get one of those vans." And they said, no, those vans belong to people. They actually are driving those vans, and they're using those vans, and they're not going to give us one of those vans. And he goes, "How do we know unless we go ask them? So let's go down. Come on, guys, we're going to go." Well, they're just all kind of, "Oh my gosh, we're going to go ask people." So they get out on the street, and Tony said, "I'm a big guy. I just jump out there and I'm going to wave somebody down." He says, "I learned something about New Yorkers that day. They don't stop. They'll just plow you over. They're not stopping for you." So he said, I stepped back up on the curb and said, we're going to have to change something. We need to go somewhere where they have to stop. There's a stoplight a block up. Let's walk. So they all started walking up. And they get a block up to the red light. And so when it would turn red and all the vehicles would stop, him and the staff would run out. They'd knock on somebody's window and say, "Hey, excuse me, Tony Robbins might have heard from me, motivational speaker, author. You know, we're looking to feed some homeless people this afternoon and we need a van. Is there any way we could borrow yours?" And every time they heard, "No, I'm really busy. I've got somewhere to be, I can't. Oh, you're going to Harlem. I don't know that I want to go up that area. No, I'd have to pass, have to say no." So for 45 minutes, they knocked on windows. And the staff finally said, "Look, Tony, it's not gonna happen. Well, let's just go get some dinner. Forget it, you know." He said, "Oh, no. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. Just keep knocking. Somebody will say yes. Keep going." So they kept knocking on windows. About 20 more minutes passed by. Tony knocked on this van window and he said, "Excuse me, Tony Robbins, looking to get a van, take some food up to Harlem, feed some homeless people. Thought maybe you could help me with the van." The man said, "Sure, get in." He goes, "We got a van." So everybody comes up. The driver reaches over, gets his cap up off the seat, puts it up on his head. Across the top of the cap, it said Salvation Army. Oh, wow. So they get in. He said, "We need to get some food, and then we're going to take this food. We want to go to Harlem." He said, "You know, I know somewhere that needs it more than that." He said, "Let's go to the South Bronx. So they went to the South Bronx, and they went to a building that was just like a shell of a building, just enough to just keep the wind off of people. And they gave away 38 baskets of food. They sat and talked with people, and they made those people feel good and wanted that night. They did a great thing. So Tony actually achieved what he set out to do. And there's 4 success principles, at least 4, in that. One is that he started with a clear intention. He knew what he wanted to do, and he set out to do that. He knew how many, how much, by when, okay? 38 baskets of food tonight, and he said Harlem, they ended up in the Bronx where they needed it more. Also, he had a positive expectation. He said, we're gonna do this. And he meant it. He went out and he said, we're going to do this. He had everybody excited. Well, he was excited. They might have been following along, but he had that excitement building. He had a very positive expectation. He acted as if it was going to happen, and it did. The third thing is he took action. A lot of us have all kinds of great thoughts of things that we're going to do, and we never get up off our hind end and do it, do we? We think about it, and it's a great idea, but we never take the action. He took the action and he persevered. He kept on for over an hour until he got what he wanted. And of course, there's the law of attraction. Of all the people in New York City, who did he attract? The one person that could help him the most, that was the most willing to help him, Salvation Army, Captain John Runyon. So there's 4 principles right there. If your goal was to have $1 million, and you knew that if you went out and knocked on windows for 45 minutes in New York City, would you do it? Could you knock on those windows? Could you ask people for what you want? Some people say yes. Some say no. Why do we say no? What stops us from going and asking for what we want?
Rejection.
Rejection. We're afraid somebody's going to tell us no. Okay? So, it's outside our comfort zone, isn't it? We don't like rejection. So it's comfortable right here because everything's okay. But if we step out here, that's outside our comfort zone. We might get rejected. Somebody might tell us no, tell us that we can't. That doesn't make us feel good. So then we want to go back where we're comfortable, right? Okay? Do it again. If you were doing what would work, what you want would already be here, okay? So if you were doing what needed to be done to get what you really want in life, it already have shown up, okay? So apparently what you're doing right now is not bringing you what you want. So what do you have to do? Event plus response equals outcome. Not getting what we want, not getting the outcome, we got to change the response. Okay? Because apparently what we've been doing, 2 plus 2 is not 5. So we got to change it. 2 plus 3 is 5. So we got to change our response. And then what we want will show up. Okay? All right, so we're going to do a little exercise now. And I want you to take your hands. Oh, don't you love it when we do hand exercises, okay? So you're going to take your hands and just lace them together. Okay, hold them out in front of you and look. Which thumb's on top? Right or left?
Left.
Left? Left? So the left?
Right.
Okay, if the left thumb is on top, you're the intelligent people in the room. You're the smart ones. Okay? Right? Who's the right? You got some right thumbers up there? Okay, look at these people. They're the sexy people in the room. You want to check them out, okay? Now, does anybody have both their thumbs together like this? Anybody side by side? Because if they did, they just think they're sexy even when they're not. That was just a joke. No research to prove that. So y'all can come back off of the I'm sexy and the intellectual thing, okay? All right, so take your hands apart. Put them back together again. Which thumb's on top? No, yeah, that's only because you know now. Okay? So they're the same, right? That's called a habit. Okay? That's what's comfortable. Okay? Take them apart. Move hands up one to where you have to lace one finger up and put them together again. How's that feel? Not comfortable. That feels weird. It don't feel right. Okay, take them apart, put them back the other way. How's that feel? Ah, yeah, fine. Comfortable. Some people are smiling because they really didn't like that other way. It just didn't feel good at all. But now it feels better this way. So you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Because in order for anything to change and be different, you have to step outside your comfort zone. Okay? So you can't always be like this. You have to do what's uncomfortable to change things. So the only way you are going to get what you want is to step outside of your comfort zone and go for it. So let's say it together. We have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. I have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. One more time. I have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay? Hope y'all learned something from our seminar today.